It looks like we are recording right now. Let's just give it a second to.
I'll assume that we are. Good
Yeah.
morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, November 20th. This is the meeting of the Town of Brookhaven Industrial Development Agency, its governance committee. Following board members are present: Mr. Callahan, Mr. Rose, Ms. Scheit, Mr. Trotter, Mr. Braun. A quorum is present. First order of business is to approve our minutes of October 16th. Have a motion?
Motion.
Your second.
Second.
One small grammatical change that we have to make, but other than that, there's nothing substantive. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All yours.
Okay, so the only item on the governance committee agenda is spec industrial. I don't even know why I don't see it. Thanks. After our last meeting, I sent around some things for you guys to think about. Andrew put together some ideas. And I wanted to just sort of continue that conversation. What do you guys think? And the other thing is that our moratorium is set to expire at the end of this year. We have a meeting December 4th, but good morning. Do you guys want to extend the moratorium? We don't have to do it till December 4th, but we kind of have to have this conversation and make some decisions. So
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I think potentially we might have to extend that. But, you know, we've got a few things to talk about before we get there. I mean, nothing has changed since we started this process. It's only gotten worse in a sense that, you know, time has passed and I don't think we've seen any major changes in any of the properties that are already existing and, you know, with regard to vacancies. They're still vacant. You know, so the question is, with regard to the need in the town right now, unless there is certain circumstances, maybe a specialized situation that, you know, might allow it to be filled in a shorter period of time. But the bottom line is, we, you know, and I know we've discussed this, but, you know, we don't want to go back to the time when we had all the shopping centers that are vacant for long periods of time, and then we had to think about other uses of those shopping centers. You know, we have all of these vacant facilities right now. And, you know, so the need from our perspective, unless somebody proves otherwise, is not there. And at the end of the day, it's our residents that are gonna be looking at these empty buildings or facilities that, you know, presently exist and, you know, if we approve anything in the future, you know, they will exist. And I just don't think it's the timing for warehouses right now is not good unless something dramatically changes in our economy or in the need for warehouses or whatnot. So
I agree.
that's my nickel.
Yes.
John or Anne Marie? I didn't mean to catch you with a mouthful.
Well, I was down in Florida recently where in Daytona I was doing some driving around, just checking out what's going on and because I live there, I'm part-time. And they built a big Amazon warehouse directly across the street by the airport. And if you drive around the whole full circle, it's all fenced off. So it's sitting there, it's not doing anything.
Not being used.
Not being used.
How do you know Amazon's involved?
Because there was a sign up that said Amazon.
Okay.
And there was one guard at one of the gates. It looks like it's been there for quite some time. So maybe they decided not to use it. Maybe they're waiting to get something to move forward, but it's pretty big. Right off of 95.
John or Anne Marie?
Well, nobody's stopping them from building it, right? Then it's just that
Yeah.
Correct, just for more benefit,
Right.
yeah.
they wanna build it, let them build it if they have to sit on it.
Correct.
Doesn't mean that we have to subsidize it.
Bingo, yeah, and that's exactly right. If it's their choice to do that, you know, they have the right to do that. But if you drive to the airport, on Betts Highway, to MacArthur, you'll see a new, large, appears to warehouse with a, you know, for rent sign, looking for tenants there, vacancies and whatnot. It was just built. It's huge. And that's in our neighboring town.
It's not unique to Long Island. I drove down to
Yeah.
Atlanta 2 weeks ago and I went out west and went south on 81 through the Blue Ridge and Shenandoah and everything else. There are a lot of warehouses. There are a lot of empty warehouses also.
Yeah,
And there are more proposed for Long Island. I don't think any attorneys are involved in the room, but there's a cold storage one that's being proposed for Smithtown Boulevard opposite the airport. And there are others either under construction or being proposed as well. So I think you're right. I think that my thought right now would be to extend it as well. Question is for how long? and we'll get-
There's an expression that Quakers use, Fred. These friends speak my mind.
I mean, whether we do it for 6 months or longer, we can always extend it. But I think the thought, what I'm hearing is, yes,
Mhm.
we should extend again.
and maybe in 6 months, things will begin to change. I don't know if they will, but at least that'll give us an opportunity to, you know, look at the landscape at that point, the economy at that point, and see if things are changing, if people have a change of heart, you know. And some of these places get filled that exist. That would certainly give us comfort in moving, you know.
Yeah, they're building.
Yeah, that's more, potentially.
So if that's what you guys want to do when we go into the regular session, we should probably add it onto the agenda and vote on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would we be extending it for another year
6 months.
or 6 months?
My recommendation would be for 6
Yeah,
months.
I think 6 months is
You
good.
can always change it if somebody knocks on the door and all of a sudden everything gets filled up,
Right,
you know, maybe
Right. we
many
could
things would be
drop it.
different.
Even after 3 months, you can say,
Yep.
we're gonna,
We could.
Can you rescind after, like, if you want to do 6 months and you decide 3 months, you can rescind it back to 3 months if we want?
Sure.
that's all I have for governance.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
well, at least you got some answers anyway.
All right, it is now 9:14. This is a meeting of the Town of Brookhaven Industrial Development Agency. It's Wednesday, November 20th. Following board members are present: Mr. Callahan, Mr. Rose, Mr. Scheit, Mr. Trotter, Mr. Braun. A quorum is present. Need a motion to go into executive session. Motion to second. All those in favor?
I,
To
All right.
discuss potential litigation.
You will always remind me. Thank you.
Okay.
Going to the map room.
Going to the map.
a map room.
Come back. Creepy thing.
Okay, we think we're in progress.
It is now 9:57. I need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and there was no action taken in executive session. Quickly, the minutes of our meeting of October 16th have been circulated. Motion to approve those, please.
So move.
Any corrections? Hearing none. All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Lori?
Included in the package is the operating statement, January through October. Year to date, we're ahead of our budget and we expect to continue that through the end of the year. The banks did notify us that they're dropping our rates a little, of course, down to about 4.2% on our investment accounts, but we still will make our budgeted interest. Other than that, we had year to date 11 subtenant applications and 9 applications. Do you have any questions on the Town of Brookhaven IDA operating report through October?
What are the two there's two banks that you're dealing with, correct?
Yes, Hanover and Flushing.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Lori?
And we recently closed course block 4 and tomorrow, I think we're gonna have, Medford Gardens is gonna close.
Good one.
Yeah.
Need a motion to accept Lori's report?
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Okay.
Okay, so I am going to take a couple of things out of order, because we have some guests here. The first item that I am going to, take out of order is Ferrandino and Sons Development Group LLC. I know that, Eric has a couple of things that he wants to say, which Eric, I'm going to ask you to do your darndest to get these.
Have a lot to say.
Included in your packets was a letter that Eric sent,
I have to go to work.
No, it's for Annette.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
so, yeah, there was a letter, there was information included in your packets and, okay, Mr. Pitt.
Thank you.
This hat.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Members of the board,
Please
Eric, can you
stand,
stand
I'm
up so-
sorry, Eric, we
We
need you on
can't see,
camera.
yeah, the camera can't see you.
If you can see yourself on the screen, you're good, you're good.
I can see myself. So I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here this morning. With me is Joe Rossi, who is one of the principals that is working with us on the project on behalf of Ferrandino and Son Development Group. If the board recalls, we started this application in November of last year, 2023. We came back before you in September to renew the application. In the process from last November, we filed with the Village of Patchogue for all of our applications because we knew, but for your approval of the IDA application, we would go forward with our contracts that we had put in place. There are 9 parcels of property that are the subject of this application that the Ferrandino and Son Group will be acquiring. We went through the process expeditiously in the village, got all of our approvals, both with the village, with the county parks department and the board of trustees, the New York State DEC, and we're finished with that as well as the health department and the Village of Patchogue Sewer District in order to get approvals in place. And that took from when we filed the last week in November of last year through and until probably the first week of June this year. And we're at the point that we have plans under review and in the process to go forward with permits. The meeting I'm going to after this meeting is to meet with the Village of Patchogue to discuss the building plans. The reason we're before you today and the information we provided to you has been submitted as a result of discussions with our council contact, Howard Gross, Ms. Mulligan, Mr. Braun, talking about the pilot that and Ms. Aresto, talking about the pilot that we are seeking. We're asking for a 20-year pilot. First 3 years of that period are to be no tax consequence. And then from years 1 to 17, the balance is where we are seeking our pilot to go forward. The reason is based on the fact that we had to extend the realty contracts, all of them, because they were to end sooner and we had to pay significant monies in order to go forward with those and get the extensions till we got our financing in place. We have a lender that is interested in financing. We have the equity to go forward and we need to move forward with the construction budget. So what we did is we provided you with a feasibility study that shows that we address all 7 points of your UTAP. And whether it's school district, whether it's economic, in terms of what is taking place, in terms of the Village of Patchogue in the area that, although they don't have a situation where they have a blighted zone ordinance, the 9 lots that we have are on the south side of Main Street across from the YMCA and the brewery. Everything from West Avenue to going up the hill is what is going to be demolished. The mayor of the village of Patchogue has been tremendously supportive of the project. I've spoken with him if this board needs to reaffirm it, but I know before this project took off in July or August 2023, the applicant came, met with Lisa and others with the mayor present, and he has been right behind this, supporting the redevelopment of the downtown Patchogue area. The other points in your UTAP, it shows the school district impact of only possibly 19 students. It shows we have workforce and affordable housing that are being provided. Our project is 262 units. If my memory serves, it's about 62 in total of workforce affordable out of that. And we're within less than a quarter of a mile from the railroad. We're also providing a community-based portion where the Chamber of Commerce is going to get our 500 plus square feet of office space at $1 a year proposed lease. There's 303 square feet of commercial retail for a grab and go. And in addition to all of that, the DEC has come along. We're going to help with the village to revitalize the Patchogue River. And also we've got a DEC permit that allows for that cleanup of the river because of the industrial properties that have dumped in that particular area. We have also a major input and responsibility to work with them with the sewer district to expand the sewer district down to assist with the connection for area residents. So when you look at your UTAP requirements, everyone on there is a check as far as what we are being able to address. Our concern, there was questions about the finances. So when we submitted a study a while back, we've revised it and split out the feasibility portion that the board would like to see. And we've added correspondence as of Friday from our VP in-house counsel explaining the rationale for why we need what we need. And then we also provided, if you wanted to look at it, the economic analysis of the project so that it's all here laid out for your consideration. If you have questions, we would respond today, and we hope that you look favorably on our request. I'll leave it at that. Is it pithy enough?
I'm impressed, Eric.
Thank you. Eric, that's a record, but I'm trying.
You said 62,
There are 26 units at 120% AMI. And there are 27 units at 80% AMI, just with correction. And within the rent study that has been submitted to the IDA, the rents for the 120% AMI units are being offered actually lower than what is required.
Also in the analysis, we explained that after meeting with the village assessor and with the Brookhaven assessor, the valuation of what the units would be was $92.40 in terms of the tax assessment per unit. And that's in the numbers we gave you.
At stabilized taxes, we will be the highest per unit development in the market in the town of Brookhaven.
I mean, in the village of Patchogue, and we listed all of the residential units. There are a total of 7, I believe, that are in the information we provided. The mayor also indicated that if you needed to have any sort of input from him, I spoke with him yesterday and he's willing to provide a letter of support for this application. I said, I'm not sure I need it, but he wholeheartedly endorses this particular development in terms of revitalizing and upgrading the village of Patchogue, who's also village in the town of Brookhaven.
my last question is, you mentioned the expansion of the sewer.
Yes.
What does that mean?
The sewer line, the sewer treatment plant is directly behind our site off Hammond Street. We will be tapping into that line. So while we're tapping into that line, we're actually upsizing the size of the main coming out of the sewer treatment plant, wrapping around Hammond Street up west and then back down Main. It's my understanding, it's the village's intent to further develop westerly down Main Street in Patchogue, and this will open up that ability to do so.
We've had plans submitted and reviewed between the village engineer and with the village, Tim Norberg, who's the village engineer, and their consulting firm, which is H2M, and they're in the process of drawing the plans. And the health department granted us the minor variance without hearing for this because they have a requirement that you can't build residential within 500 feet of a sewer company, and we got that approval as well. So we've had consistent approval from all municipal agencies going forward on this project. And we did that because in order to get the financing from you with the but-for requirement, we saw the necessity of trying to proceed to get all the necessary approvals. So we're there and we're in the process. I'm waiting for an agreement from the county Parks Department on behalf and with the assistance of Commissioner Janat to sign over the land for a 20-year lease, which is they have 0.16 acres on the river. The problem that the village had with that, there's been vandalism, there's been violence. There was also an unfortunate situation with a woman in that particular location, and the county wouldn't sell them the land because the village wanted to take it on its own. We came up with this proposal and they agreed last February to allow us to do this.
The river walk down the middle of the site is in totality about 2 acres. It's a substantial cost to improve it and clean it up. And we're also opening it up to the public for public use.
The other part in here is the carriage house, or they refer to it as the trolley
I
house.
remember
When the project started, we went to the meeting with the plant, and that meeting at the end of October, the first week in November, I sat in the room and then all of a sudden I heard from the mayor and others, we also need you to preserve and protect the trolley house. And I was like, it was one of the buildings to be demolished. So we've had to figure out how to either move it and incorporate it into the building or deconstruct it and reconstruct it in the building. And the cost for doing that was $1 million.
Oh, it's close to $3 million.
Yeah, at this point, because of the way that they are asking us to undertake it. So all of these hurdles have been placed in front of us and we're trying to deal with it and go forward, which is why we need the request for the 20-year pilot.
One more thing I'd like to add is that the development is a transit-oriented development. We are we're a quarter-mile away from the train station. We are at the entrance to the downtown of the village, and basically the gateway. We will have a trolley that'll go back and forth from the development to the restaurants in the downtown as well as the train station. Creates economic viability beyond that without having to create traffic as well.
What we're attempting to do is redevelop the west end like Main Street, the Four Corners, and I recognize that New Village, had their own special situation, not only in the village, but also in Tri-Tech with Ronkonkoma. Your typical pilots are usually 10 to 15 years, but this is a very extraordinary application and deserves your consideration and response to our request.
I don't remember from the letters. What's the amount of financing?
The equity that you're putting in,
It's a 60-40 LTC. We're our equity check. I have to double check that. Or have to double check. I have. But the project is roughly 177 total project cost. Where we're coming up with 40% of that equity financing, 60%.
and there's a bank that's presently in discussion and willing to finance and go with the project if we get.
Okay. Other questions from the board?
And it's very difficult in this economic environment
I know.
with the material costs, et cetera,
Yeah.
and they keep escalating. We're hoping for happy news coming in every year as to.
Any other questions, John? Marty?
No,
Okay,
Then I thank you for your time. I hope it was pithy.
Eric, we will circle this date on the calendar.
Okay, please do, Anne Marie. You and I, our relationship goes back a long time. So, yes. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
have a nice day.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We need to do anything? I don't
No.
That was the
I
question.
thought they would ask, but
Yeah.
they did not.
Sorry for telling, though, like you said.
They're putting a lot of equity into it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe there's a little give and take, we can help.
Mm.
well, but you are, yeah, we're gonna,
Mhm.
what we talked about tonight, right?
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
speak, I will, have additional conversations. Okay.
Thank you, Elise.
And there may be some hint to our consultants that they
I'm gonna-
need to
I will have,
dig.
Yep.
I
more
will
than
have
they-
conversation,
have.
and now I have all new information too,
Mhm,
so I'm gonna
mhm.
give them a bunch
Right.
of information and
Des
ask.
Moines, you got the,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
There'll be a lot
that'll
of-
be helpful.
Be a lot of reading material between now and December 4th.
okay.
I don't hold your breath that they're gonna have it done by December 4th. That's a lot.
Oh, but you're just with
Oh, yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
Beth Riley, right?
Yeah,
Was she in early this morning?
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh,
so I know what I need to do. Um,
What do you guys have?
Okay, so the next item on the agenda, um,
Yeah, that's
so RA Oak Run. So RA Oak Run is the 74 unit over 55, over 74 unit over 55 rental townhouse property project proposed at the northeast corner of Birchwood Park Drive and Middle Country Road in Middle Island. Included in your package was a cost benefit analysis, a pilot study and a feasibility study. We had a public hearing yesterday. There was neither comment nor participation, and in front of you is the final authorizing resolution. Do you have anything you want to add?
I really don't, let's do anything, but.
Yeah. So, it's a final authorizing resolution for this project. Any questions?
So move.
I think we need so we have a motion.
Second,
Second.
Second?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent.
That was a quick one, huh?
Bye, Dan.
Take care, Dan.
Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so now I think we have some people, yep, we have some people in the Zoom, so I'm gonna continue to take things out of order.
Can you see them, Lise?
I can, I'm wearing my glasses so I can.
Okay.
So. The next item out of order is a resolution for Biocogent. Just to remind everybody, this is a company that came out of the incubator.
Yep.
At Stony Brook. They currently have a location that we supported at 19 Pinehurst Drive in Belport. Their completion date was, as it's set up right now, they are supposed to be complete by the end of this year. And it also means that jobs are then coming due. The letter that they sent, which was in your packets, they're requesting an extension of their sales and use tax and their completion date to 12/31/26.
About a year, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
About 2 years, 2 years.
2 years. Yeah. Glad you could-
they're working on it. When they came to us originally, they told us that they would be putting together a campus. And they have, since they bought the project that we supported, they have rented a building. I'm gonna say adjacent. I don't know if it's immediately adjacent, but it's within 2 buildings if it's not immediately adjacent. And they're working on purchasing another building in that general vicinity. And if they are able to buy this third building or secure this third building, they will then have officially graduated from the incubator, moved completely out of the incubator, and they were taking a lot of space in the incubator.
Yes.
So I know that freed up space for other
Mhm.
companies, and they will have made good on their proposal to create a campus. So they're really doing all the things that they said they would. I'm sorry, there were 2 letters in your packet, just 'cause
Mhm.
one of them got sent a little bit late, which we missed it. So they have exceeded the head count for job creation that we requested, but since this building is not quite finished yet, they're still, they have people in the general area. They are increasing their head count and they're working as diligently as they can to get them into this new building. But the request is to extend their sales and use tax and their completion date.
So they can fold these other buildings into their campus. And Joe Tricoli is, I mean, I can refuse. I've never gotten any payment from BioCogent, but Joe Tricoli is just a really honorable guy. He provides, material to Estee Lauder and a number of other companies on and off Long Island. He pays his people well, he delivers a quality product, and he knows how to do a little bit of DNA work in some of the products that he produces, make it possible to do some skin repair. I have no idea how it works.
It's the product.
Didn't we have a,
It's a bunch of ingredients for skincare and other personal care products.
so we
He's
had a
not-
Zoom call with him at one time? Didn't he come on Zoom for us?
Well, I think he's been here.
He's been,
He's
we
been
had a
here.
meeting, I think it was maybe one upstairs, but definitely one
I
in
don't-
the media room across.
Oh,
the-
yes, correct.
Down the hall
Okay, yep,
that they were at.
yep.
We honored him.
Success story.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
absolutely is,
Yeah,
and he's doing what
got an
we,
incubator success story.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
he's doing what we want the incubator to do.
Yeah,
correct.
Those
Right.
companies that stay here,
Right.
hire people.
oh, and one other thing, we're gonna extend the job, creation requirement for 1 year.
Jobs are really there, but they're in the
They're in a
adjacent
different
building
place.
rather than
Yeah,
our
yeah,
building.
they're-
That's the only reason we're doing it. I'll move it.
Well, great.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
That's a great idea, right? This- school year done, then I guess we should write a-
Okay, thank you very much.
Work with the guys at the incubator. and this, how this partnership-
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the
Incubator,
start of the
yeah,
agenda, just because I feel like I'm gonna miss things if I
Three
don't.
people.
Okay, so the first item
Who knows,
on
can be 50 or
the
60.
agenda under applications, we have 3 applications for the Ronco project. 3 subtenants in phase 2A. We have Hammer and Stain, station yards, which is 2,463 square feet for, it's a DIY workshop. They have another facility, another workshop in Sable, which is gonna remain. It's an 11-year lease. It's 1 FTE, making between 30 and 35,000 a year, and the request is to accept the application and pass the resolution for them to be a subtenant.
So move.
Motion. All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. The next, also in Ronkonkoma, phase 2A is Cornucopia Natural Foods LLC. This is 6,948 square feet. It's a health food grocery store. They also have another facility in Sable, which will continue to operate. This is also an 11-year lease. They're gonna add 25 FTE. The salaries are between $21,216 and $75,000 a year. Again, the request is to accept the application and consider the resolution.
So move.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. And the last application is for GRG1 Inc. This is 2,176 square feet for retail sales of wine and spirits. They have other facilities that will continue to operate. This is a 7-year lease. They're gonna add 3 FTEs with salaries between 26 and 56,000 per year. The request is to accept the application and consider the resolution.
Motion.
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries again.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that we did have another application on the agenda. We took it off the agenda. A couple of things had to be finished up before it was ready to present to you. But I just want to mention that the recently passed mortgage reporting tax exemption policy, we said that we would allow projects that were building sewage treatment plants. We would allow them to receive the mortgage reporting tax, the partial mortgage reporting tax exemption. This project came to us and pointed out that they are building a pump station. So I gave Annette a call and she told me that a pump station is I don't want to say equivalent to building an STP, but a very moves that concept forward. So You don't like that phrasing?
Moves.
What do you
You know what
move
it's
forward?
moving.
Oh.
It's a concept.
Waste,
Yeah.
but, so I think that we should, anytime you pass a policy or you put something together, there's the things that you didn't think through. So I think this is gonna happen a little bit for a little while, but I think in addition to sewage treatment plants, I think we should have a little bit of latitude. So for instance, if somebody's building a pump station, that will also qualify for them being able to take advantage of the partial mortgage reporting tax exemption.
Because it will, with the pump, as we have one on the campus, and as I understand it, it moves the content
There you go.
to a nearby sewage treatment
Yeah.
plant.
So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was good with that, adjustment to that policy.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, do we need anything official for that?
Could the minutes show that we moved with the times?
That's up to Josh. I meant to change the
Sorry
policy
about that.
of what we're doing with mortgage
because
reporting tax
There'll probably
exemptions.
be other things that
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, all right, maybe you guys just give me a little flexibility with it. Okay. The next item on the agenda is Middle Country Meadows. They provided us a letter requesting, they would like to refinance. They're not requesting any additional assistance. Their original mortgage was 34.5 million. It was with KHRE SMA funding. They have, as of the letter, they had an outstanding balance of, about $28.5 million. They're refinancing to 40.1 million with New York Life Insurance Company. And they are asking, permission to, they need your approval for this, refinance. They're not asking for any benefits on it, though.
Okay, move.
Abstain.
I'm surprised from the standpoint
The
that,
numbers are going higher.
well, the numbers are going high, but, and it depends on how the mortgage is structured, but that's not all occupied yet. He doesn't have the cash flow. Now, maybe this is interest only for a period of time until
Mhm.
it rents up, but a little strange to me that they went long-term financing now
Yeah,
rather than wait,
yeah.
but it is what it is.
Justin,
So-
you get,
Somebody moved it. I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
We have Frank and Anne Marie with John abstaining.
Any other questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
aye.
I will just add one other thing as it relates to a related project, which is the one out east. The last meeting or the one before that, I said we had a term sheet that we knew what the financing was. Well, it turns out, it's my mistake. Turns out that that was a term sheet from a broker. So we still don't know who's financing the project out in the bridges. I asked their attorney, I saw him twice in the last 2 days, and he wasn't sure or didn't know. And so hopefully over the next couple of weeks, we will get a little bit more information.
Wow. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we had this letter from Black Bear, but it turns out that they were the broker. They were not the actual lender.
There we go.
okay, the next item on the agenda is MDS Building Ventures. Just to remind everybody, this is, in the Shirley Industrial Park. It is a warehouse, that's really close to being done. Okay, to support MS Packaging's, facility on Zorn Boulevard. Their current completion date is December 31st of 2024. They're darn close to being done, but they're nervous that they won't be. So they requested an extension of their completion date and their sales and use tax, exemption to 3/31 of 25.
Based on how long it's taking to build that, I would suggest we go to June. They swear?
Well, I don't know if they're swearing, but we've been working, the building is done, they are getting their final approvals, they're like down to the wire, it's been every day running stuff back and forth. But,
All right, leave it alone, then if we have to, we'll do it again.
I don't even think they're gonna need the 3/31, but
Motion,
So move.
second,
Second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the housing study that we talked about doing, I have received two proposals so far. I have another one I'm told is in process and I will have soon. I just wanted to bring to your attention that the two that I received so far, you guys approved up to 15,000. I don't think that that's going to be
There, that's,
sufficient for the study, so I just wanted to bring it forward, see, do you want to continue with this? And if you do, I think we either need to pare it back or increase the dollars.
I
What,
think it's important that we go.
Or negotiate it.
Other
What-
people-
what dollar number would make sense?
So what we've received
25,
so far, the
30?
two that we've received, it looks like it's gonna be closer to like 40,000.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were saying really like. Okay, sorry, I was like, yeah.
Is the scope more than we need, or is the, or, I don't know.
I don't think so. I can send around what we've received so
How do we
far.
come up with 15? Or we just pulled it?
Yeah, we weren't sure. Yeah, we just pulled it
Yeah, we
out. Yeah.
pulled that out of the
Yeah.
air.
Here we go.
It was,
Pull it out of the air. I got it.
The air.
I know
we
where you were
pulled it
going
out
with
of
that
the
sewer,
air.
moving that sewer.
Came from the
Yeah.
pump. Came from the pump station.
Yeah, that's where it was going.
so. And we can wait. We literally have a meeting in 2 weeks. So maybe when I have the third one, hopefully I
All
have
right.
it by then.
Okay,
Yeah, let's wait.
Yeah. And then you'll negotiate it down a little bit, and then we'll give you a book.
we'll come in at 35 or something.
Okay, so I will bring, hopefully I'll have the third one and we will discuss this in December. The next item on the agenda is a request that we received from September Morning LLC. This is another facility that's under construction in the Shirley Industrial Park. And they have also asked for an extension of their completion date and their sales and use tax. They've asked for an extension from 12/31/24 to 4/15/25. They're not asking for additional sales tax exemption. Probably should have said that in the other ones too, but you know, you can see in the letter that they've outlined, there have been significant delays and they need a little bit more time.
Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second,
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Lisa, did we discuss biocogen?
Yes.
Yep, she
Yes.
took it out of order.
That was one that I took out of order because their
Oh.
attorney was, he was on the
Right,
Zoom.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm gonna just point out, remind everybody who wants to have a headshot. I think Lori's gonna probably go.
Yeah,
first.
Lori's gonna go down first. I'm gonna try to let Dugal in right now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
That's what I was just gonna say. And then the next item is Dugal, just to remind everybody, this was the company that they actually did the piece that's in the conference room.
Oh.
And we are having them join right now to talk a little bit about, I'm gonna say rebranding, new logo, maybe a
Oh,
DBA.
this is exciting.
Well, you went through this already. You said, didn't you, with the credit union.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh.
What exciting.
Something to look forward to.
There you go.
gee, thanks.
I don't know what's up with this.
He's still on. Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Okay.
There's a little delay there.
Yeah, it's been a little bit
Maybe it's the internet?
dicey.
Hi, Joseph,
that
you're muted.
No, didn't pay the bill.
There you go.
Amy or Lisa, do you see me?
We don't see
hear
you, but
you.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay, I can see all of you and I heard you all say this is exciting. So now we gotta live up to that.
Best
I'm
you
trying
didn't do
to
what I said.
turn my
after that.
camera on. All right, you might see me now.
You are.
Ah, there you go.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna try to let Damien in too.
Damien and a young lady named Lindsay, who's working with Damien and myself as well.
Okay, great. Okay,
So-
Damien's coming
Here we
in.
go.
Joseph was our point on the piece that's in the conference room.
Morning, everyone.
Love the piece in the conference room.
There's
Yeah.
Damien.
Excellent.
And we're
Hear
just
anybody?
waiting on Lindsay.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Take it away and let us know, you know, I'm sure my board members have questions, but let us know what you're thinking about for, I think we just lost Damien, for the logo and the name. Feel free to take it over.
Lisa, let me interject here. When I spoke with Amy last, to see what you were all expecting from us today, if it was anything about thoughts, ideas, designs, whatever, she says, no, it's not that yet. It's just hearing what you're looking for.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I wanted you guys to start the conversation so we can get there eventually. So I don't know what you need from us, what you want to hear from us.
Damien, thoughts there?
Sure. Hi, guys.
Hey, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. So, as I understand it, you guys are looking for a rebrand of the Brookhaven IDA logo, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I guess the question is where it stands now. I'm looking at it this way. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm looking at the logo right now. Are you trying to stick with something structural like that? Do you want just a text-based logo? Do you want just an icon-based logo? Did you want like a mix?
I don't think
These
we
are
know
all-
what we want.
Yeah.
You know, we're kind of looking to you to
Guide us.
better express the logo was originally created when? 100 years ago, but when,
Yeah, when we were doing, well, we weren't doing any housing, it was all commercial industrial.
Okay.
so the mission of this board has changed over time. And the times have changed, and it's certainly, when you say industrial development agency, to the average Joe, it has no meaning these days.
Correct.
To what we do as an economic generator for the town. So I think we don't know what we want, but we want a more modern look and name to and feel from a public perspective of what
Okay.
we do. I think. Anybody?
Yeah, well,
We want something that makes us look forward-looking and energetic and future-oriented.
Yes.
So when you say
Okay.
a new name, it still needs to incorporate IDA or something somewhere, correct?
No, we can have a DBA. Our DBA could be anything.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So,
All right.
so we're looking at pretty much just a new icon that you can then couple with whatever DBA you'd like, correct?
We've seen some, we certainly could do it that way, and we have seen some IDAs that, just for an example, there's Think Duchess, and they have the I in Think as an exclamation point.
Mhm.
That's an IDA upstate, and they have made their logo and their name one visual.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, the concept is you're thinking about relocating, Think Duchess.
Right.
So I don't
Okay.
think that we have it has to be one way or the other. Could be
A few
either.
days ago, I spent some time searching all IDAs across the state. And they're all pretty boring and ugly. So we want to make yours stand out.
I think you hit
Yours
the
pretty
problem.
low.
that's why we're calling you.
Okay. So no, that's fine. That's fine. And okay, so let's talk about what you currently have. What don't you like about it? Is it all encompassing? You just want something totally different? Is there something you do like about it?
There's nothing I like about
Nothing,
it
yeah, the
myself.
building,
Okay.
the building looks like,
Color. I only like the color, that's it.
Mhm.
We've used that color throughout the office and
Yes.
on a bunch of our collateral and
that's-
stuff, but
Okay.
That makes it.
On your notepads.
on our
Yeah,
notes.
yeah, I don't like.
Okay.
the building. It looks like. town
Okay,
hall.
okay. So color is an easy, that's an easy
I
one.
know what it is,
Very good
but
job, Tom.
not anymore. I
Could
mean,
look like a warehouse, eh?
Okay, so,
No, we don't like.
okay, so if I could ask, if you could send us what those brand colors are, so we can maintain your branding colors by your marketing team?
If
Or
you know,
whomever
if you
has
know
that,
the
if you know
PMS
them.
color.
What do you need, like a Pantone color? right?
Yeah, correct,
Yeah.
correct.
I'll find it for you. I'll send it to you.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
all- It doesn't have to be exactly, you know, because it always prints a little bit different.
Well, it always prints a little bit, but if we print it and it's got a Pantone in it, we do our very best to get a 1-to-1 match of the Pantone color. You know,
Okay.
some processes don't allow for certain saturation levels, but we strive to be very color accurate here. Not to say that we're going to be printing everything, even though we want to. We would love to print all of your stuff, but just know that if you give us a brand and color, we strive to match it.
Okay.
So we're not even going to even look at this logo as even an inspiration. You want us to pretty much start from zero.
There's nothing inspiring about it.
That's fine. That's fine. No, it's fine. It's cool. So you guys have now leaned into a little bit more residential, less commercial. Is it like a
No,
mix?
We do both.
We still.
Right,
do
that's what I'm
both.
saying. It's not just commercial, right? Now, like you said, it's evolved over the time where you guys are everything at this point, correct?
well, the residential would be more of, builders building apartments.
Yeah, multi.
Not like a homeowner, that
Not,
would,
not single family.
not single families, it would be a
right,
developer.
right.
Well,
Right, like multi-units,
Yep.
things like that.
Exactly.
Understood.
We may not have done that in the past.
Affordable or workforce housing too is a focus.
A lot of
so-
times when people hear our name, they see that we're doing housing, they say, oh, you're the industrial development agency. You
Right.
can't do this. So it's,
Right.
Joe, I have a question for you. There are some 105 IDAs around the state. Of the ones you looked at, what did you like? I mean, the rest were boring, but the ones you saw that you liked, why did they stand?
The majority, again, didn't even have any type of a logo. It was basically the state seal or some type of government seal. And then basically text that incorporated, IDA, Industrial Development Agency. There was very little, if anything, like the one for Duchess that Lisa mentioned. Nothing at all. There was nothing creative. So there wasn't really anything I liked. So I think you're going to stand out once we come up with something and settle on it.
That's the idea.
Could you just
Okay.
give me a little idea of the kinds of projects you've worked on, similar to what our request is?
I mean, we work very heavily with Durst organization in their managed spaces out in the city, doing graphics for their potential tenants coming in, things like that. We've just recently rebranded a logo for the United Nations School here in the city. I mean, our client list is so vast, between realty, between corporate, commercial selling, between retail shops, between Fortune 500 high fashion companies. We have
you
full
just-
three,
You do from small to mega
anything from
size.
business cards to billboards. That's what I like to say because it's a pretty good perspective. You know what I mean? So
And the scope of what Dugal does, from this type of work to, printing portfolios to covering buildings in the city, worldwide, Verizon, Apple, et cetera. I mean, we have almost 500 employees. So we've got our fingers on the button and the pulse of what's going on. So we're a pretty cool place.
That's what we want. We want
I mean, one of my projects
Yeah.
recently is I did all 500 guest rooms in the TWA hotel, the artwork there. So
nice.
we get involved.
right. So you guys like your conference room now, right? Is that the same
Yeah.
office, Joe?
Yes.
That is me. That was
Yes,
me.
yes. Damien is who put that together for me.
That's a
Yep.
good one.
Yeah.
So again, I see that. So Industrial Development Agency is your company name, correct? So we still need to implement that in some way, right? but still give your icon something that's a little
No,
David, we don't-
softer.
We can change our official legal name is not gonna change, but we can have a DBA. And we can sort of, keep Town of Brookhaven Industrial Development Agency just for the legality, and all of our
Okay.
marketing can be our
Okay,
DBA.
kind of
Okay.
like the New York Economic Development Agency calls themselves, I Love New York.
hmm
You know, we all, you know, kind of know what that
Yeah.
means.
Yeah,
But,
I
you
hope-
know, right,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, tourism, you know, and that, well, we have the, you know, equivalent role, but in developing, economic development communities and blighted areas and
Okay.
all of those kinds of things.
So we don't need to lock it into Brookhaven either? Or did you want Brookhaven implemented in that in some way also?
I mean,
I think we're open about it.
we're certainly
Okay.
open.
Well, we don't want to advertise for somebody else either.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
we
one
gotta be
thing.
careful.
Okay, well, but that's why I asked, right?
Yeah,
We work very closely with the other 7, but we don't want to advertise for them.
Sure,
And
sure.
our geographic area of reach is the town of Brookhaven. So we're not doing projects in West Hampton, we're not doing projects in town of Islip, we are Brookhaven. But
Okay,
the piece you did in the conference room, that's what we're doing.
okay, no, I understand.
Speaking of,
Guys,
how
listen,
come
this
you're
is all
not
good.
in, how come
You're
you're not
asking
in that
good
snazzy new
you're
conference
asking
room?
good questions, Damien.
No, it's okay. These are all answers we need, right? So you may think they're frivolous, but no, they mean a lot to us when we're trying to do this for you. So, what kind of fonts? Do we like serify fonts? Do we like non-serify fonts? If we do decide to do anything with text-based?
Although, I think you might need to clarify that.
Yeah,
So serify, think about most common Times New Roman. Times New Roman has the little things on each letter, the little kind of fancier type. Sans serif, think like the way your news and events on your webpage.
they mean people kind of think of sans serif as more up-to-date, modern looking, but we depend on your judgment
Yep.
as designers.
Okay. Well,
Maybe there's a way that a serif font is gonna look really cool.
I could tell you that I personally am not a fan of serif fonts,
Okay.
especially if the item we're designing is either going to be printed really small or really big. Serify fonts tend to not be your friend, right? Because then printing, depending on the quality of the print, it may not print correct. So I like sans serify fonts. I think they're also timeless. Think Helvetica. I know it's the most common one, but it is the most common one for a reason. It's why it's all over the subway system. It will never change. It's the most legible. But I feel that they're more timeless than a serif font, because today Times New Roman might be in, but tomorrow it might be like Bodoni or Caslon. But with a sans serif font, you're going to be good all the way. Okay.
Go with your
You got
go with
our
your
vote,
judgment, yeah.
Adrian.
Okay. I mean, if we have full creative license here, we can work with that also. But just trying to pick your brain on, your direction, who you want your audience to be, we can work with that stuff. I like to do logos as one color. I don't like to do multiple colors. I think it gets weird. Again, because I come from a production background for most of my career, so I know how things print. So I tend to design for print, which then helps it for everything else. So, okay. Are you guys really hot for this? Is it something that we can linger on and just kind of show you some stuff? Like, what's your ultimate turn on this?
Wait, it's not like we have a wedding next week and we need.
Okay.
We want you to take some time and get something that.
Okay.
And that you feel comfortable presenting.
Okay.
One thing that you just said that I just wanted to make sure one of us answered is our, like who we do business with. We exist to support businesses in the town of Brookhaven, and our job is to help those businesses grow and also to,
Bring new business.
bring new businesses, entice them to come to this area
Okay.
and build buildings, expand their,
But their physical footprint.
their footprint, yeah. So
Okay.
that's, we're, work with businesses. for the
Okay.
most- Developers.
Understood. Yep.
For what it's worth, a lot of the correspondence is with attorneys, some of whom are in the room.
Okay. Well, it's also good because the attorneys are gonna make sure that this logo is good for everybody, right? I mean, they're the ones who ultimately sign off on this, right?
Neat skill set,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we had to do that for the United Nations School. We did something from scratch and nothing, and the lawyer said, nope, it looks too close to other things, so we had to make some more changes. So I know that the lawyers are involved, which is fine. It's all good.
We'll try to keep them out of your creativity, though.
Well, you guys just tell me whether it's no good or good because of whatever reason. It's fine. We're happy to make the changes for you. But okay,
Think of us as an economic engine for the town.
Yeah,
I love it.
Uh,
I love it.
we're a
That's
cheerleader for the town.
Yep.
Bring your business here. This is the best place for you to be.
right.
Okay, I'm writing all this down. Believe it or not, economic engine for the town. I love it.
So Brookhaven trend.
Lisa, I just pictured you in a cheerleader's outfit.
So Joe, you know me well enough to know I am not a cheerleader. So my job is kind of the
You're
cheerleader.
our cheerleader.
She's a financial.
I don't know, I think Frank might be pretty good in the sweater. and white pants.
And the socks too.
And the socks.
Well, it's always about the socks.
Yeah.
Okay. Lindsay, you got any questions?
I think you guys answered all of them. I'm just excited to get started and, yeah. just,
Okay.
Start
So-
creating.
And you guys, if you have any questions, the board meets once a month. But the staff is here always, so we're almost always available to brainstorm, talk
Okay.
through things, if you have questions, if, whatever you think.
And if we had to do
Okay.
a Zoom in between, we
Yes,
could do that.
yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, Joe will be our liaison with you guys for any just loose questions. And then when we're ready to really show you something, it'll be like a team effort. We can do like a full-on Zoom presentation and kind of just see and take your temperature of where we're at to start. And then, I know, I would love to say I can guarantee it, but I know for a fact we won't hit the ball out of the park in the first shot. So, those meetings are really important just to kind of see if the direction we're taking you is the direction you're into. If not, we can deviate and go somewhere else.
Amy, did you see our
Brookhaven
current
offers
logo?
room to grow, so we're expecting that you will have room to grow as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What was
I can
that?
tell it's a bashful group.
And
Yeah.
it's so bad, like we're gonna be,
It took forever to make it.
and it did take forever to get it together, yeah, so we're very excited about this process, and we understand that it's a process and that
Yeah.
it's a ebb and flow.
Yeah, and please believe me, don't hold back. Not that I think that you guys would ever hold back based on this 10 minutes so far. Like any feedback is good feedback. Okay, so never worry about whether you're going to hurt our feelings or not. We're doing it for you. So all your feedback is definitely welcome. So yeah, we're excited to get it going. I'm looking at the logo right now. Sure, there's a lot of room for improvement. But it's, if I'm being super honest, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. But based on what you're telling me and the future of your company and things like that, it's just not working anymore.
We will
So it
pull
does-
you down off of the Acropolis.
Right. We will take you off of the Acropolis, right? There is a lot of text to it. And that's why I asked you guys about text options, because if you wanted text, I would simplify the heck out of this thing as far as the amount of text on it. Even on the website, it's almost hard to read the town of Brookhaven, Long Island. It's so small. And if I'm looking at it on my phone, I definitely need my readers for that one. So
Especially
we're gonna,
Long Island gets lost.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Long Island gets lost. So we'll be good. We just worked on something also for a health insurance company to movie stars. Kind of the same kind of deal. They had an old logo. They kind of wanted to lean a little bit more future forward. That turned out really well, but it was very text heavy. So, where this one is not going to be. So just to, and Lindsay did a great job on that one too. So this is a team effort here. We're all going to be collaborating, think tanking on a bunch of ideas, and we'll get you something awesome. So I think as Joe promised, Joe, what do you do? We're doing 3 options up front.
Right, 3 options up front, and then once one is selected, I believe we had 2 or 3 alterations to that, updates and so on. Yeah.
Yep.
You can always expand to more if approved
Sure.
and so on, of course.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're going to
Please.
probably show you 3 different versions up front, 3 different styles, 3 different kind of things. And then you guys say, oh, we kind of like this direction. And then we take that and we show you a couple of more. Okay. So we don't want to just show you like the letter A with almost no changes other than what we'll see. We're going to show you 3 different visuals for the logo.
Well, that's great.
Lisa, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
How come you're not all sitting in that new jazzed up conference room?
Because it's a little bit too tight for all of us in there. It's
Ah.
much more comfortable out here. And although we have, most of the guests have left, sometimes we have a lot of guests. So we
Oh,
just moved
okay.
out here, so we have a little bit of room to spread out. But we
Okay.
all went in there before and oohed and awed over the piece. And that's part of the reason why we need to keep going. We have other things that need to be done. And the logo is kind of an important piece because we need that in this space.
Sure.
But I don't want to put what we have now.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
think it's-
I'm good, Joe. I'm good to
All right.
start.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I'll be in the Navy Yard on Monday, so I'll connect with you and Lindsay then.
okay.
Great.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
All right,
No,
everyone.
thank you, guys.
Thank you. It was nice
Thank
meeting you guys.
Take care.
Take
Nice
care.
meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Have a good time.
Will do.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
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 Let's see where you ladies had fun meeting with them.
How did you,
They're
how did you
great.
find
And
them?
Dugal is, they're like the
Got it through
top.
record.
Through Reckler, so they
Ah.
did all of the work in
I like
Reckler's, office, which is very lovely. They did all of the work, and so then Amy and I went, they have a facility, actually had a Suffolk IDA project in West Hampton, which is kind of cool. And subsequently, I realized that they put an application into us to buy a building in, I think, Medford, but decided to go to West Hampton instead. So I didn't realize it when we started talking to them that there was a little more of a connection, but they, their facility in West Hampton is like a showpiece in and of itself. And so we started talking to them about what we wanted to do, and they've been very good to work with.
Is there a design center in the Brooklyn Navy Yard?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
their headquarters.
Yeah.
Ah. So they're with a lot of startups and a lot of growing companies and all like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good sign.
So. We only have a few more things to do. The next
can take the
item
tie
on
off.
the agenda is, got a tie, is, New York State
Oh, John's got
economic,
a
a request that we got from, New York State EDC. They are doing a, economic blueprint. It's $100,000 project. I put the write-up in your packets. EDC is, supporting the concept with 15,000, and they're asking each of, their members to consider, supporting the project between 2,500 and 5,000. And it's going to be, it's a partnership with the business,
Business Council?
thank you, because I can't read my.
New York State Business Council.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're gonna provide policy recommendations to the legislature. They're gonna focus on all of the things that impact us: job creation, workforce development, brain drain, companies leaving. So it's a very expansive, project, and they've asked if you would be interested in supporting it.
I think it's worthwhile.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, a board member there, they have a good voice into
Mm-hmm.
our elected officials in Albany, and I think well respected at that level. and, you know, able to push back on stuff that doesn't make any sense.
What would you recommend?
2,500.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Motion.
Great.
Second,
Could go to 5.
The request was between 2,500 and 5,000.
5 would be worth it.
Okay with 5. I'm just wondering whether we should stay at 25. If they get all those.
I was just gonna.
Oh,
yeah, you
okay.
start low, you go up.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, if they need help, then
25, but approval to go to 5 if we need it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We can rush in as the saviors.
Yep.
Great idea.
All those in favor?
All right.
Right.
Thank you.
And they're gonna start, they're gonna have a series of, discussions with everybody who's supporting it to try and get insights and input and things that we're concerned about so that it's, a robust report.
Good.
And will there be sort of regional components to this, or is it all gonna be focused on statewide?
It's, yeah.
I got houses and
Be helpful.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mentioned the legislation. So far,
the loss is killing me.
the legislation about having
Six
a
fifty, it's an all.
labor representative and a school board representative
Too bad.
on our board has
650.
not gotten to the
My friend from high school.
desk yet.
But both houses?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
She won't.
Oh, yeah,
Freaking
it
out.
has.
So she didn't sign it
Ring
yet.
doorbell. Oh,
But
what a
it's
bitch.
But if she
Carolyn
doesn't
says
sign it
that-
in a
That's
certain
gonna
period, it
If that's
becomes
gonna
one.
happen, then everyone- nobody can on.
I just know you're out that way. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah.
So the next item on, okay, so, we should.
Fred abstained from that vote.
Yes,
But we
yeah.
only have, right now, we only have, 4 members, so when John comes back.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Then just vote.
We'll vote that one.
And then even though I have no economic benefit,
But you're on the board, right?
okay,
Better not, just wait for
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, we have,
thank you.
okay, so the next item on the agenda, you might recognize this from our last meeting, Vision Long Island. Although you guys were all supportive of us, sponsoring this, it wasn't really clear who made a motion and who seconded it, so I just want to ratify this just for, clarity's sake, because we watched a few times and
Couldn't hear.
yeah, it was tough, so.
Remind everybody what it is.
Oh, there is a,
Glad
like
to.
a day-long, conference, I think it's December 6th, I wanna
Yeah.
say, it's a Friday, it's an economic development, conference, summit, yeah, they call it a summit, so
We commit.
$3,000.
So moved.
That's officially Anne Marie,
Second?
officially Marty,
All those in favor?
okay.
Unanimous.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is New York State EDC's Economic Development Conference. This is just sort of a FYI. There's a conference February 11th and 12th in Albany at the Capitol Center. I know Fred is going to attend. I just wanted to, put it out there, see if anybody wanted to participate in the conference.
Often lousy weather to go to Albany.
I will tell you, I haven't been in a number of years, what with my, responsibilities at my home, but it tends to be very informative. It's a very,
Content
content
heavy, yeah.
heavy,
yeah.
yeah, I actually enjoy that conference a lot, because I always felt like I left there with some, little pieces of information that were, especially useful for our day-to-day operations here.
I think last year you got a lot of snow down here. We got nothing at all.
Yeah,
Probably,
right.
probably right.
So if anybody wants to participate, let us know. And now I'm just kind of, killing time for John to come back so we can vote on that last item.
He's pretty quick.
Do you want to mention about the coalition meeting that we had there?
Sure, we had a coalition meeting, the IDA coalition. We used to do this more often and then COVID kind of slowed us down, but we're trying to get back in the swing of things. So we hosted all the Long Island IDAs. Everybody came here except for Anne from Glen Cove, but she joined us through Zoom. And we had a very good meeting and we talk about everything that's going on, just keep each other up to date. I already knew, but that sort of solidified it for everyone that, that there were, some foils going around. We talked about how we handle our annual reports, how do you do it, and we all we shared a lot of information, so it's just really a good meeting, just you always end up learning a lot.
Anything come up on storage facilities by any chance? I know it's a hot topic.
We didn't really talk about spec industrial because the last time we met, we had a lot of conversation about that. We talked a decent amount about housing right now, just getting people's feel for how they handle housing and what their boards are doing. And we also talked a lot about the effort to put together an EDO for Long Island. So that was another
EDO?
Economic Development Organization. There's EDOs in other parts of the state, and honestly, we might be the cheerleader for the town of Brookhaven, but an EDO would be the cheerleader for Long Island. They have the opportunity and the flexibility to go to like site selector conferences and really showcase the island and help to advertise. It's kind of like Discover Long Island,
Yeah.
but for businesses and for business relocation. So there's an effort to create one, and we're,
Sounds like a good idea.
yeah, we're working, we're participating in the hopes that it does get developed. And obviously, as IDAs, we would have a role in all of that. They would kind of report to us in a way, because
Right.
once they get the business to come here, they need us to put everything together.
They most likely would have their own staff and everything else,
Yes.
which gets to this.
Yeah, they,
And where does that come from?
I was just gonna.
Yeah.
not us. That's not something we need to worry about. I almost forgot, since I'm just killing time, we need to vote to extend the moratorium.
Come out of the governance committee.
Oh, we can-
Yeah,
okay.
so,
Do we have enough to vote or we gotta wait?
June 30th.
Oh, you can vote, okay.
Yeah, you can vote.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm
June
sorry.
30th of 2025.
Motion.
Second,
All in favor? Aye.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And what time for the fourth?
I'm so glad you said that. If everybody would just let us, RSVP who's attending, just so we have a head count. And,
Dinner?
dinner, December 4th.
Don't go to.
I have, well, yeah.
Belport, right?
We're going to
gonna be in
Avino's.
Belport.
What's the name of it?
So,
Avino's, right?
yeah, what I'm gonna do
Wait,
is,
where?
Avino's.
Oh, Avino's. I thought you said Savinos.
yeah, that's what I was.
Savino's in Mount
I
Zoll.
went
I got
there.
you. I got you.
yeah,
They
we
won't
have-
take us anymore, right?
Yeah, they don't,
They don't appreciate it.
What time?
so that's what I was just gonna say, this is the wrong list.
Where'd John
I
go? He got
have,
lost.
We went to, apparently they're doing a
So
lot of.
right now, we
So,
don't
yeah,
have a huge agenda for,
Anti-stuff.
You're gonna have that one application that you
No.
took off this time or no?
no, I don't, not for December 4th.
Okay,
So I don't think we have a very large agenda. Obviously things, well, I guess the agenda closes today, so I don't think it's gonna change too much. So we can have, I think, our meeting later in the day and then,
we got set it.
yeah,
What time is?
Oh,
five,
great
between
time.
5 and 5:30, we told them.
Five-ish, and I do need to give them a head count technically today.
Okay,
Okay, so three, December 3rd, right? No, December 4th, right?
so I think if we had our meeting at 3:00, that would, I think, give us probably plenty of time
Okay,
to get there by 5,
okay.
3:30.
That's probably,
3:30. 3:30.
I think we've been doing 3:00 and it's been,
What'd you say, Jeff?
I think we've been doing
Well-
3:00 and it seems to be all right.
I will tell you though, this agenda is very light as of right now. wait, before you
Before you leave, we gotta
go,
vote. Yeah, yeah.
can we,
John, we need you.
we need a vote for,
Ms.
Yeah, donation.
supporting the New York, the New York State Blueprint, what is it called, Economic Blueprint.
John, I have to abstain, so we need your vote. We
Lisa.
agreed to go to 2,500 now,
Dates for
but
January.
to 5,000
If they need it.
You're gonna
So
do
this
that
is for
in
the state
December?
organization.
So you have that.
So, all those in favor?
Who's the
Thank you.
second?
Me.
Here you go, Frank.
Okay, I'm off.
And you were
Extend time.
trying to abstain.
So,
So we're meeting at 3 or 3:30?
I think 3:30 is probably,
Okay.
probably sufficient. We don't
Okay.
have very much on the
I'll put it
agenda.
in. We're gonna, well, set it.
Yeah, so,
Motion.
so do we have a
Okay.
motion? Wait, is Frank know
December
where he's
5th.
going? I just told him. He just went that way.
The only reason I know
Maybe
that
he's
is
going to the
Father
men's
Frank is having hotel on
I will move
Monday.
that our December meeting on the
Third.
4th will be at 3:30. Is there a second?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? December 4th at 3:30.
Okay. Mitch, we'll find out about if Mitch is gonna come. Yeah, no, okay.
I would count them in.
Yeah,
for the head
he's
count.
coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we had it on at 12.
Whatever.
Are we still,
What I can call that.
We're still.
okay.
Andrew, you coming?
Yes,
Andrew, and
and I'm at the right point.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
What have you got?
I put up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom.
If we need to keep record, are we done? Are we-
His wife is scheduled to give birth tomorrow. Maybe a little bit.
You may want to get the hell out of
Not so
that.
available,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I asked him, I was like, I don't, what sort of weird thing.
I was saying, are we done? Turn it off.
Well, no, I don't know. Do we have any other business? We just voted to set the meeting. Did somebody get the time? Because I wasn't paying attention.
3:30.
30.
Okay, good. So then I think we can vote to adjourn the meeting unless there's anything else that
I will entertain that motion.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks,
Okay.